Hi, I'm Bob Stammers. Thank you for joining us for another Financial Literacy Network podcast episode. Today's guest is Jana Brodani, CFA, who, among her many other accomplishments, is the Executive Director of CFA Society Czech Republic and a member of the Financial Education Work Group at the Ministry of Finance. So, any additional information on Jana's experience and background you can see on the title slide. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Robert.
So I just want to concentrate on financial literacy in the Czech Republic. So from your perspective, working at the Ministry of Finance, how would you characterize financial literacy and education within the country?
So this is a pretty easy question. To put the financial literacy in the context of the Czech Republic, we must look at the history. And during the communist times, there was practically no financial education, and especially there was no financial or investment experience for nearly all the people. So starting point for the government and any organization that is involved in financial education is starting really from the basics, like the budget of household. What does it mean when you take loan? How much you pay at the end of the day? And investments, it is just the top of the pyramid, which must be looked at. But we are really rather at a starting point. Like most people of my age, around 40s, they do not have much experience with investments. To put it in numbers, investments into investment funds in Czech Republic, in a country where nearly 10 million people live, only 1.5 million have invested investment funds, compared to, for example, Sweden, where 90% of the population has some previous experience with investment, and 70% of kids by the age of 18. This is something that should be worked on.
Right. So how would you say the overall, I know people are starting to get more involved with the capital markets and investing, but how would you say the overall financial knowledge of people in the Czech Republic are?
There is a number of research going on with regards to financial literacy, and the numbers or the outputs are not very good. Usually the people are rather confused on basic financial terms, basic financial knowledge, and and it's not getting much better. However, I must say that this is changing a bit, especially from the perspective of younger people, because, as I said, most of the adult population, it is very difficult to target them with some kind of financial education. Mostly newspaper or some kind of news increase the financial literacy. But what we can do in a pretty organized and formalized way, it is the work at schools, where there are a lot of courses on financial literacy.
So what's the government obviously is open to financial education. So, but have they been considering anything that's kind of different than kind of the conventional approaches that everyone, does? It's, you see, either it's done in the school system, or it's done through nonprofits, or it's a combination of both. And I'm just wondering, what's the thinking over there?
Yes, it's the combination. What the government did, it prepared the detailed curriculum on what should be taught at schools, but it's up to each school to decide on how they will implement these basic rules for financial literacy. And usually it is each school or the director of the school who decides on the details, like how many hours will be dedicated to financial literacy. There are schools where like 10 hours per year are dedicated to financial literacy. There are schools where 100 hours are dedicated to financial literacy. The content should be approximately the same, but the ways chosen are pretty different. This is a huge space for non-profit organizations or organizations that are interested in promoting financial literacy, such as financial institutions, either banks or management companies or brokers, or the regulators as the Czech National Bank.
So, all right, so what do you think? So, what do organizations like, for example, the CFA Society in the Czech Republic, if they were interested in it, or other nonprofits? So, what do you think they should be concentrating on to kind of add to the existing, approach from the government?
Well, most of the companies are doing within their CSR some kind of involvement in school education, in school courses. So most of the companies, based on the individuals who are interested in promoting financial literacy, they go to schools and they teach and they show the examples from real life on how the finance works, whether it's the bankers or investment professionals.
Right. So have you considered, has the Czech Republic considered partnering with any other, either governments close by or, or following an approach that's already been done? You see the cooperation and with, other countries or other groups that are doing this financial literacy work?
Yes, there is a cooperation of associations operating on the Czech market who prepared the financial education website, and then individual professionals are partners or are taking part in the different initiatives. From the perspective of the Czech Capital Market Association, we are part of European Fund Investment Management Association, which has a very active financial education platform, and we are promoting the materials that are being prepared by this financial education platform. But currently, the financial education is to be somehow formalized on the level of European Union, as involvement of retail investors and their participation at investments, but also at the whole financial market, is being one of the priorities of the current Commission based on the Capital Markets Union initiative. This will be somehow formalized on the EU level, and it's being widely promoted by the Commission and all the regulators operating in EU.
Okay, so what would you, I mean, as kind of as a closing, what would you advise organizations within Czech Republic or anywhere, as a matter of course, on since you are working within the government on these ideas, what's the best way you think that organizations should approach, local and national governments about promoting and executing financial literacy programs?
Well, this is pretty tough question, but maybe I will have some kind of simple answer, and the answer is the experience. Currently there is a huge amount of information available on the theoretical side of financial literacy. Whenever you want to find anything about what the inflation means, how to start investing, how to prepare the household's budget, you can find the information very easily. 3 clicks on the internet and you got it. But what is crucial from my perspective is to increase the experience and get people more involved in the financial system in real life. One very good example is the impact of inflation on the investments of households in Czech Republic. You know, we did our best, and we try to promote on, please do not leave all your money on the bank account and start investing because of inflation. But when the inflation was practically zero, that was not of huge interest to many people. Now, when the inflation in Czech Republic is 15%, everybody understands the theoretical side of inflation, and how their savings are impacted by the inflation. So it's mostly focusing on the practical side and increasing the experience. This is especially valid for investment. Therefore, it more than just saying what should work in theory, trying to increase the participation of people on financial products and getting the experience. This is a very long journey, but from the perspective of countries like Czech Republic or Slovakia or Hungary or Poland or any country in CE region, this is crucial.
Great, thank you so much. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode. Jana, thank you so much for joining us and giving us some insight into the financial literacy within the Czech Republic.
Thank you very much, Robert.
For all of you listening, the other ways to get involved with the Financial Literacy Network is our LinkedIn group and also our website, which can be found at flnnetwork.org. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Robert.